Hello everyone, I am Vijay Thapa and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with new episode of our food order website with PHP and MySQL, and today we will start food module. So without further ado, let's start our tutorial. So first of all, let's log into our admin panel, and our URL to go to our login page is localhost/food order/admin. And if you just type up to here, like food order is our main project folder and admin for our admin panel, and press enter and it will redirect you to login page. And here just enter your username and password. My username and password is admin and admin. Hope you remember your username and password, and then click on login successful. And we have already completed our category module. We have successfully added functionality like add category, update and delete, and today we will do the same with our food module. So today we'll work on adding food and displaying the food. So let's go back to our code editor, which is Visual Studio Code, and here I'll open manage food.php, and here first we will work on adding the food in database. So let's create add food.php page. So along with add admin and add category, let's create a new file. So I'll click on new file and I'll give its name as add-food.php. so this is add-food.php, and let's link this page to our manage food.php page. So in manage.food.php, go to add food. So here is our add food button, and instead of this default hash or pound sign, here we will link our add-food.php file. So I will open PHP, close PHP, and echo our site URL. Echo URL, site URL, and then we need to go inside admin, and inside admin we have add-food.php. so that's the link. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and we will check whether our file is linked correctly or not. So I'll go to add-food.php, and here I will open PHP, close PHP, and I will just echo like add food page and semicolon, and save it by pressing Ctrl and S. And let's go back to our browser and let's refresh our manage food page. So this is manage food, and we have added link to our add food button. So I'll click add food, and here you can see the message add food page. So that means we have successfully linked our add food.php page in our manage food page. If you have any error like object not found error, then your link is not correct. So you might you need to go to manage-food.php and link add food.php file correctly. So this is add-food.php, and you should link this file correctly. Okay, so now let's work on designing a form for our add-food.php. So instead of just displaying add food message, first thing I need to add is include menu and then include footer. Okay, so I'll include include, and we need to include menu, but menu is inside our CLs folder, and then menu.php semicolon. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's go back to browser and click on add food, and here we have our menu. Now let's add footer. So I'll copy it, Ctrl and C, and go down. Here I will change from menu to footer.php and save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's go back and refresh the browser. Now we have nice footer as well. Now let's add our main content section. So between menu and footer, I'll add a div with main content class CONTE and T, and we have our div, and inside this main content div I'll also add a wrapper division with wrapper class. So div wrapper, and inside this div wrapper we will add title. For title we are using h1 tag, and inside h1 we will call add food. That's it. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and let's go back to browser and let's refresh the browser. And here we have our nice title, which is add food. Now below this add food title we will create form to add our food. Okay, so to design form we will look at our database structure. So here is our database food dash order, and this is our table food table. So I'll click on tvl food, and then you can just go to structure, and based on this table structure we will design our form. Okay, so let's go back to our code view. So this is our code view, and after h1 I will add several break tag br, and then again br, and after this here I will create a form to add food. Okay, so I'll open form, and action will leave blank, and method is equals to post, and let's add ink type as well, because we will be uploading image as well. So here we have image name, so we need to add ink type property as well. So enctype ink type is equals to multipart slash form data. Okay, and I will put the ending form tag below, and inside the form tag let's create a table with width with class tvl30 to align our form perfectly. So I'll create a table, and I will give the class as well for table. So our class will be class is equals to tvl-30. Hope you remember the meaning of this class tvl30. If you remember, please add the meaning of this table in the comment below. Okay, so that I can check whether you remember or not. And inside this table we will have table row or tr, and also td. So first I will add tr and then td. So first thing we will have is title. We don't need to pass value for id because it is auto increment, so the value for auto increment is inserted automatically. So first thing we need a title and the description. So title, and then we need to add another td, and here we will add input type text. So input type will be text, and name will be name will be title, and then we need placeholder as well. So placeholder is equals to, here will pass title of the food, so it will be displayed in our input type. So let's save by pressing Ctrl and S, and let's go back to browser, and let's refresh our add food page. So I'll refresh add food, and here you can see title, and here is our placeholder input type text with placeholder. So if I type anything, it will disappear. If it's blank, then message will be displayed. Similarly, let's add a description, and since description will be longer, we will be using text area. So let's go back, and after this tr I'll add another tr or table row, and add td, and this is description, and then we'll add another td, and then this will be, instead of input type text, this will be text area, because description will be longer than like title. So we need name, we don't need id, and we can go with columns and rows. So that's it. So its name will be description, CRIPTIO, and description. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's go back and let's refresh our page. So here is our description. So if you increase the rows, then its height will be increased. let's call it 5, and let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and it decreases the height. So 5 is okay, and you can do same with calls as well. So but I think that's okay for now. And let's add placeholder is equals to description of the food. That's it. Let's save it, go back to our browser, and let's refresh it. Now you can see the message, which is description of the food. And after description, let's check the database table. So after description, we have price and then image name. So this is for uploading the image. And let's add input type number for price. So I'll go, and here I'll create another tr. This is for price, td, and then pric price. And then after this, td, and input, its type will be number, so num. And let's give the name will be price, and then placeholder. So we don't need to give placeholder because this is a number type. So I will save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's go back to browser and let's refresh. And here we have our price, and it's not displaying like up and down arrow. I think we need to give full name number. Let's save it, go back, let's refresh, and now we have up and down arrow. And this won't allow any text, and we can only add number like 10.56 with this decimal. And this input type allows only number with decimal, like you can add decimal value as well as integer value, but it won't allow string value, like we cannot type any letter here. So that's the input type for adding numerical values. Okay, so this is input type number. Okay, so the input type number only allows numerical value, it won't allow string value like any letters. Okay, so hope you understand. Now after this, we need to add a button to upload image. So I'll create another tr. Inside this tr, we will add td, and this will be image, select image. So we can call it like select image. And after this, we will add td, and this will be input type file. So input, and its type will be file, and then we need to give name. So name is equals to, I'll give it image. That's it. Let's save it, go back to browser, let's refresh the browser. Now we have our button to select the image. After image, we have its category, featured and active. So first I will add featured and active, and then I will add category. Okay, so here tr, and then let's say this is td, and this will be category, category. And here we need to display all the category from database. So for now, we need to create a drop down. To create a drop down, we use select tag. So select tag will create a drop down, and we don't need to give id, but we need to give the name. So name will be category, and inside the select, we need to give option. So this option will be the drop down values. So let's create option, opti option, and here we will display the name like category, for example food, and here we need to pass the value. And if we see the database structure, we are saving category id, not the category name. So here we need to insert category id, for example 1, and if I copy and paste it here, so it might be like snacks, snacks. Let's save it, go back to our browser, let's change the value as well, value is 2. Let's save it, go back to our browser, and let's refresh our add food page. And here you can see the drop down food and snacks. For now, I have just added 2 dummy values for our category drop down menu, but later we will get all the category from our this category section. So all of this added category, we will display all of this category in our add food section here. Okay, so for now let's go with dummy data. I will add featured and active. So I'll add featured and active, and then we'll work on displaying category from database in our drop down menu. Okay, so let's go back to our code. After category we have is featured, so tr and then td, this is featured, featured, and then td, and here for feature we will be using radio input type. So input type will be radio, and here we need to give value, if you remember from our previous episode. So value will be, first will be like yes, and here we need to display the value as well, and another will be input, this will be also radio, and I forgot to give the name. Here we need to give name as well. Name is equals to featured, featured, and radio, we need to give name is equals to featured, and here we need to give value is equals to no. So first one is yes, second one will be no. That's it. So this will be displayed in our web, and these are the values that will be saved in database. Okay, I refresh the add food page. So here we have featured, radio bottom, and only one of these will be selected because the name for both of this input type is featured, so only one will be selected at a time. And after feature we need is active, so tr and then td, this will be active, and here let's add another column, and this will also be input type radio. So I'll just copy this both of these and paste it here, and let's push it inside so they will align perfectly. And instead of featured, this is active, so I'll change it to active, and this will also be active. That's it. Let's save it. Value will remain same, yes and no, only the name is changed. So let's save, go back to our browser, I'll refresh it. So here we have featured and active, only one of either yes or no is selected. We cannot select both of them. That's it. Now let's add a button to submit the page or submit the form at last. So I'll go back after active here. I will add a button to submit. So td, let's add col span as well. Col span is equals to 2 because we are creating 2 columns, like first column and second column. First column to display the title, and second column for input field. That's why we are using col span 2. And here we need to add input type submit to submit the form. So input type will be submit, name will be submit, input type submit, name will be submit, and then value will be add food, and we need to give color or class for our button as well. So class will be btn secondary. So let's say by pressing Ctrl and S, and let's go back to our browser and I'll refresh it. Now we have our button add food as well. So we have successfully designed the form. Now one last thing we have to add is display the category from database. Okay, so let's work on displaying the category from database. So I'll go back to our code editor and let's go to our category section. So here, instead of adding manual options, we need to display them from our database. Okay, so after this select and before option, I will make some space to add PHP code so that we can get these categories from database. So I will open PHP, close PHP, and here we will create PHP code, like create PHP underscore to display display DISPL display categories from database. And first thing we need to do is create a SQL query, comment. So this will be create SQL to get all. We will only display active categories, so active categories from database, and then we will display on drop down. So we'll do these two things. So let's create SQL query and execute it. So to create SQL query, I'll create a variable, and I'll call a variable as $SQL, and let's create a SQL query. Okay, so it will be select asterisk all from tbl underscore category, and we will use where keyword, where active is equals to yes. Okay, so this is yes, and we are wrapping a yes inside single quote because this is a string value, and string value needs to be wrapped inside quote. Okay, so if it was if it was an integer value, we do not need this single quote, but since this is a string value, we need to wrap it inside single quote. Okay, so let's go back to our browser and let's see the category, and here we have active option. So based on this active option, we will display this category while adding food. Okay, so if this value, if active is no, then this won't be displayed on add food section, but if the value for active is yes, then this will be displayed on add food section. Okay, so let's go back to our add food. So here we'll display those categories from database based on that active value. So let's go back to our code. So this is our SQL query. Now we need to execute it. So I will create a $race variable, and here we will we don't do code, here we will execute a query. So MySQL underscore query $connection, and then $SQL. So let's add comment for this as well. So this is executing query. Then let's count the rows to check whether we have categories or not. So I'll call it count rows to check whether we have categories or not. So here I will create a variable called $count is equals to MySQL underscore num underscore rows, and here we will pass $race. So this holds the value from query executed, so we need to pass that value and need to count the rows. So if we have the rows, or if the count is greater than 0, then we have rows. If the count is equal to 0 or less than 0, then we do not have any values. Okay, so let's check. So if count is greater than 0, we have categories, else we do not have categories. Okay, so if $count is greater than 0, that means we have categories, and else I will put this color basis down here, else we do not have category, and we will display the values based on this. So when we do not have categories, I will just display no category found. So let's give that option. For that I need to break the PHP and then again open the PHP, and here between this PHP I'll add this HTML tag which is option. So I'll copy it and I can paste it here, and here I'll call it as no categories found, and I will give its value as 0. So that's it. And here what we need to do is, since we have categories and in database there could be many categories in our database, so we need to use while loop to display all the categories. Okay, so let's use while loop to get all the categories. So I'll add row, I'll create a row variable inside while loop and use my SQLi underscore fetch underscore assoc, and here we need to pass $res, and inside this while loop we will get the title of the category as well as ID of the category, and we will display this option inside this while loop so that we can get all the categories from database. Okay, so here let's get the value, let's get the details of categories. So first I will get is ID, and ID will be $row and then ID and then another thing is $title, title is equals to $row and then title. So we only need these two things, because in option section, in option tag, we are displaying the title and adding the ID value. So I will use this to I'll use this tag to display our categories in our drop down section. So Control and S. If we go back and browser, we still are not getting the categories from our database, but now let's add those title from database. Okay, so I will end the PHP here and then open PHP again, and between this PHP I will display categories from database using option tag. Okay, so I will paste it here, and here in food, here I will delete food, and instead I will just echo or display the category title, echo $title, and here I will display the ID PHP, let's say echo $ID. Okay, so that's it. Now I will create a space up and below this meta tag or this HTML tag. So I will remove this manual option values. I will save it by pressing Ctrl and S. So what we have done is we have created the SQL query to get all the active categories from our database, and then execute the query and then count the number of rows to check whether we have categories on database or not. And if we have categories in database, then we used while loop to get all the categories from database, and then we displayed using option tag. And else if, when we do not have any categories to display, then we are displaying no category found with value 0. Okay, so let's save it and go back to our browser, and I'll refresh it. Now here you can see the categories we have added. Currently we are getting two categories, text and category with image. So I'll go to category, and here we have three categories, but we are only getting two, text and category with image, because the new category, the value of active for new category is no. So that's why we are not getting this category in our add food section. Okay, so quickly I will change the name of these categories into food, drinks and snacks. So I'll update category, so let's call it food update, and then let's call it snacks update. I'll change this to, let's say, drinks and update. So now we have food, snacks and drinks. So I'll go to food, add food. So if I drop down, click on drop down, we can see food and snacks. Now let's go to category and update the active status for this as well. So I'll click on update category and I'll click on yes for active. So click on update category. Now let's go to food, and if we click on add food and click on drop down, now we can see food, snacks and drinks. So this is how we can like display or hide some data from our database. Okay, so this is how we use SQL queries to filter all the things from database. So if you want to learn more about databases or SQL queries, then I have a course for beginners. I'll put the link in the description. You can click on that link, and if you are really interested about more of the databases, then feel free to check that course as well. Okay, it's free. So we have successfully designed a form for our add food section. Now we will add, or we will insert this data in our database. Okay, so let's go back to our code, and here I have one question for you guys. Okay, so do you know why we are saving ID instead of title in our value? Do you know? If you know, or if you don't know, please let me know or answer in the comment below, and I will tell the reason behind inserting ID instead of string value or title in this value for our drop down. Okay, I will talk about this thing in our next episode. Okay, so if you, whether you know or you don't know, please comment below. Okay, so let's go back and add the functionality to insert all this data in database. So first we need to check whether this add food button is selected or not, and we only want to add the data in database whenever this button is clicked. Okay, so let's go at the end of the form, and after the form ends, here I will create a PHP code to insert data into database. So here I'll open PHP, close PHP, and between this PHP what we'll do is we will check whether the button is clicked or not. So if it said not session $post and then submit, then only we will add the food in database, otherwise we won't do anything. Okay, so I'll save it, go back to our browser, refresh the browser, I'll click on add food, and I have not added an echo. So to check, let's add echo, and here we can display the message like clicked. Save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Go back to our browser, let's refresh the form and click on add food. Now you can see the value clicked. So we only want to process the form and insert the data in database whenever this button is clicked. So let's go back to code, and here I will comment out this echo. Instead, what we will do is our step 1 is to get the data from form, and then 2 is to insert into database. And before inserting, what we need to do is we also need to upload the image if selected. So here in step 2 we need to upload the image if selected, And after inserting into database, what we will do is we will redirect with message to manage food page. That's it. Now let's get the data. So first let's get the data. Let's go back to our browser, and we have title, description, price. So let's get those value. So let's get a variable title is equals to $_post, and then title. After title we have $description, DESCRIPTION, description is equals to $_post, and then description, DESCRIPTION, description. After description we have price, so $price is equals to $_post, and then price. And after price we need to select the image. So selecting the image we will do in step 2. So I will skip this select image part. So instead I will get the category and featured and active. So let's get category, $category is equals to $_post, and then category. After that we have is featured and active. So for featured and active we need to check whether radio button for featured active are checked or not. If checked we will get the value accordingly, else we will set the default value as no. So if is set $_post and then featured, then our $featured is equals to $_post feature, else our $featured value will set the default value for featured is equals to, so we will call default value as no. Let's call it setting the default value. That's it. Now let's get the value for active as well. So if it's set $_post and then this will be active. If it's set, then we will get the value accordingly. So $active active $active is equals to $_post active, and then else if the button is not selected, then we will set the default value. So $active will be no. This is our default value. That's it. So we have obtained all the value except the image part. So before uploading the image, what we need to check is whether the select image button is clicked or not. So let's check whether the select image is clicked or not, and upload the image only if the image is selected. So first let's check whether the button is clicked or not. So if it is set, and then sorry, not this one. If it's set $_files, and then we need to give the name, we need to add the name that we have given while adding the button. So the name we have given is image, so we need to add the same name while getting the value for our image select button. So $_files image, and here we need to get the name of the image as well. So here I'll add name. So I have already shown the values carried by $_files while adding the functionality in category. So hope you remember. If you don't, please watch the video on adding the functionality to add category once again. You will remember everything, or just Google about $_files in PHP and you will get all the details. Okay, but if you are confused or if you have any queries, then you can always comment below and I'll get back to you. Okay, so this is how we check whether the button is selected or not. If the button is selected, then we will get the details of the selected image, else we will set default value for our image name property. Okay, so I'll create a variable called image name underscore name, and we will set its default value as null or blank. Okay, so setting default value as blank, blank. Okay, because we have a blank value, image name is blank because image is not selected. That means our select button is not clicked. Okay, so if the select button is clicked, then we will get all the details of the selected image. But if the image if the select button is not clicked, then we will give the default image name as blank. That's it. Now let's get the detail of the selected image. That means image name, so $image_name is equals to $_files, and we need to get image and its name. That's it. And let's check whether the image is selected or not. Check whether the image is selected or not, and upload image only if selected. Okay, so this if condition checks whether the button is clicked or not, and this verifies whether image is selected or not. Okay, so let's save it, go back to our browser and let's refresh the browser. So what I mean is, the first if condition will check whether this button is clicked or not. Clicking this button does not verify that our image is selected. Sometimes I may click cancel and no file is chosen, but I have clicked the button, right? So, and the second if condition will check whether we have selected image or not. So when we have selected the image, then this $_files or this button will have our name of the image. So this verifies whether we have selected image or not. When we have not selected the image, then this value will be empty. So let's check that. So we have already obtained the image name, so we will check. So if the image is selected, then this won't be blank, but if image is not selected, then this remains blank. So let's check. So if $image name is not is equals to blank, which means image is selected. It means image is selected. Okay, so if image name is not black, if its value is not empty, that means image is selected. If its value is empty, that means image is not selected, and we need to upload the image only when image name is selected, right? So this means image is selected, and when image name is selected, we need to A, rename the image, and second thing we need to do is B, upload the image. Okay, so to rename the image, what we do is we need to get our extension like .jpg or .png, .gif of the selected image. Okay, so here I'll add a comment, get the extension exe and of selected image, which is like jpg, png, gif, etc. And to get the extension, what we do is $extension is equals to, we use explode array, and here we need to add how we want to explode the value or the string value, and here we need to pass $image name. So I have already discussed about the explode array in while adding the functionality in add category. So if you want to know more, please Google once, and I will try to explain again. If you get any more confusion, then add the comment as well. But first I will add the code and I will explain it to you. Okay, so this is it. So what this explode function does is, for example, our image might be like Vijay dash Thapa.jpg. So let's assume that our image name is Vijay-Thapa.jpg. Okay, so what this explode will do is, and here we have passed a signal or symbol that we want to break the whole name into things. Okay, so what this explode function will do is it will look at the variable or look at the sentence we have provided. In this case, we have provided image name, so this value which is selected from a button from our add food page. So this image name will have value like image-vijaythapa.jpg, and what this explode function will do is, this will break the whole name into like Vijay-Thapa and jpg. And what why this is doing why this is breaking into two things, because we have pass dot as a symbol, and we want to break this whole thing into two by based on this full stop sign. Okay, but we do not want the first thing or anything before that. We only want, and we are only getting the extension, and extensions usually are at the end of our image name. So we are adding end function here. So what it will do is, it will only select last part of dot. Okay, so that's how we get extension. After that, we get we create new name for image. Okay, so here we can create a new name. For that, I will call it as image name. So this is old image name, and this will be new image name. Okay, so here I will give a custom name like food dash name and dash, and here I will add like random function, random 0000 and then 9999. So this is minimum value and this is maximum value. After that, I will concatenate again, and here I will pass full stop, and then we need to add $extension. Okay, sorry, $extension. That's it. So this line of code will create new image name like new image name may be like food name, because we have given that name as food underscore name, and this function will, this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value, and this random function will generate random integer based on this minimum and maximum value. Okay, so this image name might be food dash name dash like 657, and after that we have also concatenated full stop sign here. So we have our default name and then random value, then full stop. So there we will have dot, and this extension or this $a extension will get the default extension, which might be like JPG or GIF. So our new name might be like food-name.657.jpg. okay, so initially our image name could be like this one, Vijay Thapa JPG, but we are renaming this name into food-name.657.jpg. okay, so this is it. After that, after renaming, what we need to do is we need to upload the image, and to upload the image we need to get the source file, source path and destination path. So source path is the path where image is currently located. So let's create a source path. I will comment here, source path is the current location of the image, which is like $src is equals to $_files and then image and then tmp underscore path. okay, I think this is not tmp underscore, this is tmp underscore name. So this is it. So this will get the source path of our image, and then we need to get destination path for the image to be uploaded. So here I will create a destination path is equals to, here we need to give the destination path. As we have created folder for our category, let's create a folder for our food inside our images folder. okay, so this is our images folder. Inside images, along with category, I will create a new folder and I will call it as food. okay, so we have images folder, and then we have category and food. okay, so to upload the image in this folder, we need to get out of this admin folder, because our add food page is inside admin. So we need to get out of our admin folder, and then we need to get inside images folder, and then we need to get inside food folder, and then we need to give the image name. okay, so here I will concatenate $image underscore name. okay, so we are uploading this image inside our images folder, inside our food folder. okay, so that's it. Now finally upload image, food image. For that I will create a variable called $upload, upload is equals to, and our function is move underscore uploaded underscore file. So this is the function to upload the file in our folder, and here we need to give our source path and then destination path. okay, so here semicolon. So this function move underscore uploaded underscore file will upload our file from source path to destination path. okay, so that's it. And then we need to check whether image uploaded or not. So to check, we'll use if $upload and is equals to false. If the upload value is false, that means fail to upload the image. And when fail to upload the image, we need to redirect to add food page with error message, and we also need to stop the process. okay, so to stop the process, what we do is we use add keyword or add function. We use die function. What we are doing is, if we fail to upload the image, then we do not want all of this data to be saved into database. So that's why we need to use die function to stop the process. And here we need to redirect to our add food page with error message. Okay, so first I will set session and I will call it as upload, and here I will add, or I will create a division with error class. So div div, and let's give a class is equals to error, and here we'll add a message which is failed to upload image. That's it. And then we need to redirect. To redirect we use header, so header and then location and then concatenate site URL, and after site URL we go to admin folder and then add dash food.php. so we are passing this message to our current page which is add dash food.php. okay, so let's go to the top and we will display, or we will check whether the session is set or not, and if the session is set then we will display the message. So here after br I'll open the PHP, close the PHP, and here let's check if is set $_session, sorry, $_session, then upload upload upload. If set, then we will display the message echo, sorry, $_session and then upload, and on set $_session upload. That's it. And if we fail to upload, then this message will be displayed, else we don't need to display anything. So here what we have done is we have successfully uploaded, we have successfully added the code to upload the image and also display the message if we fail to upload. Now after this part we need to insert the data into database. Okay, so to insert the data into this database we need to create a SQL query. So create a SQL query to save or add food. I'll create $SQL2 because we have already created SQL while getting the categories from database. We have already used we have already created SQL variable here, so I don't want to conflict with this one, so that's why I have created SQL2. So here is SQL2. So here let's create a query. So insert into tbl_food and set, we'll set the value for every column. So here we have columns like title, description, price, image name, category, featured, active, and we don't need to pass the value for id because it is auto increment. Okay, so I'll start with title is equals to $title, and then description is equals to $description, and then we need to pass title, description, and then price. So price is equals to $price, and then so let's check what we have. Title, description, price, and category, and we also have image name. When image is selected we have image name and we have new image name. When image is not selected we have blank. So after price, what we have? After price we have image name, so we can pass the value for image name is equals to $image name. That's it. And then we have category underscore id, so we need to add exact thing, category underscore id. And for price we do not need to give this single quote because price is a numerical value. We only need to give a single quote for string value. Title is string value, description is string value, image name is string value, but price is numerical value, as well as category ID. And for category ID, what we are using is variable category only. So we will add this. So this is $category. So for numerical value, we do not need to give single quote, but for string value we need to give single quote. Okay, so remember that. After category ID, we have featured and active. So let's say featured featured is equals to, and then for feature we need to add single quote because this is a string value, and then active is equals to $active. So that's it, and we do not need to add comma at the end of the column. So this is the last column, so at the last column we do not need to add comma. Okay, so, and for you to remember, I will add a comment here. For numerical value, we do not need to pass value inside quotes, but for string value it is compulsory to add quotes. Okay, so that's it. Hope you will remember this one. So for string value like title, description, image name, featured and active, we have passed the value inside single quote, but for numerical value like price and category ID, we have not added quote. Okay, now we need to execute the query. So I'll create $raise2 is equals to MySQL I underscore query, and then $connection, and then $SQL. That's it. And check whether data inserted or not. If data is inserted, then we will redirect to our manage food page with success message, but if failed, then we will redirect with error message. Okay, so if $raise2 is equals to true, that means data inserted successfully, else fail to insert data. Okay, so here I will create a session message, and then add, and here I will create a division with success message. So div /div, and let's add the class CLSS class is equals to success, and here we'll pass the message which is food added successfully, and then we need to redirect to our manage food. So header, and then location, and here we need to concatenate site URL, and then admin, and then manage dash food.php. Okay, so that's it. So I'll just copy this and add for our failure message as well. So inside else statement, I'll paste it here, and this will be error, and here we need to add fail message. So fail to add food. That's it. So here So I will cut this step from here, and I will cut, or I'll paste that message here, because we are redirecting in this section. So that's it. So let's save it, and let's go back to our manage food page, and here we will check whether a session is set or not. If the session is set, then we will display the message. Okay, so after this BR, I will open the PHP, close the PHP, and here we will check whether session is set or not. So if is set $_session, and then like add, then we will display the session. To display, we use echo $_session add, and also onset $_session add. Okay, so that's it. I will save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and let's go back to our browser, and let's refresh our add food page, and I will fill the form with this extension form filler, and here I will choose one of the file. I will go to desktop, and I will choose one of the file. For now, I think I will choose this one. Click on open, and I'll click on add food. Food added successfully. So let's go to our database. So first I'll go to database, and I will click on browse for our table food. So our table food database column is selected, so I'll go to browse, and here I think I need to refresh the database. It said the database inserted successfully, data inserted successfully, but we are not getting any data in database. I think it's an error. So if you go to the code, and if you go to the food image is uploaded successfully, but why are we not getting data in database? I refresh again. TBL food, TBL category is here. We have TBL food, and we should have TBL food, but data is not inserted. But why our message is shown? So add error, failed to add food. So the error is we have created SQL2, but here I passed SQL, so here it needs to be SQL2. So that's the error. So let's save it, go back to our browser, and let's refresh the page. Let's click on add food, and here I will click on add our form filler extension, and I'll click on add food, and food added successfully. Let's go back to our database, and let's refresh the database. Now here we have our value. Okay, so ID1, title, description, price. I have not selected image this time. We have category, featured, and active value. So I'll go back to our code editor, and here we have one image that we selected for at the first time. So I'll delete it from here. So I only want to delete this one, so I will delete this, delete food name, move to recycle bin. That's it. So now we do not have any images in our food folder. So I'll go back to our project and add food, click on add food, add the details. I will select the file, I will select this file, and click on add food. Food added successfully. Let's go to our database, refresh the database, and we have our second value, and title, ID, title, description, price, and we have our image name as we have renamed food dash name, random value, and our extension, category, feature, and active. Okay, so we have successfully added data or food in database, and I hope we have uploaded image as well. So our image is uploaded. So this is it, guys. We have successfully added the functionality to add the food in a database as well as upload the image in our food folder. Now we will work on displaying the food that are inserted in database into our manage food section. Okay, so here we have our manage food, and instead of these things we will display the detail of our food. Okay, So let's go back, and here let's update our column name. So what we have is SN full name. We will replace this full name and username. So instead of full name and username, let's display the title and price and image. Okay, so title, price, image, featured and active. Okay, so let's display title, price, image, featured and active. So I'll go back to our code view, and instead of full name I will display like title, TITL title, and then price, and then image, and then let's add th, not td, th, and this will be featured, and then th active. That's it. So total we have 1 2 3 4 5 6, and last one will be th actions. So like title will be like title can be like Burger King, and then price, let's say let's add dollar, and then 20, let's add 20, and after that we will display image, so image, and after that we have featured and active. So td featured like yes, and then active will also be yes or no value, so I'll say yes. So that's it. Let's remove these two column, tr. I'll remove these two column, and I will only remain with one column. So we have, this is for title, and this will be the value from database, and we will use while loop to get all the data from database. Okay, so for now I'll save it, go back to our browser and refresh it. So here we have title, price, image, featured, active, and action button. Okay, so that's it. So let's display, or let's get the value from database and display in our manage food. So here I will open PHP, close PHP, and inside this I will create, first thing we need to do is create a SQL query. Create a SQL query to get all the food. So $SQL is equals to select asterisk or all from from tbl underscore food. That's it, and then we need to execute the query. So execute the query, $res is equals to mysqli underscore query, and here we need to pass $connection and connection, and then $SQL. That's it, and then we need to count the rows. So count rows to know whether to check, let's say to check whether we have foods or not. So $count is equals to mysqli underscore num underscore rows, mysqli underscore num underscore rows, and here we need to pass $res, and if the count is greater than count is greater than 0, then we have food in database, else food not added in database. When food is not added in database, then we will display the message. So I will use echo, because this is this will be a single line, HTML. That's why I am not breaking PHP. Instead I am writing HTML inside PHP. So echo, we need row, and then table row close, and inside this row we need td, and then td close, and we need col span as well, colspan is equals to how many columns do we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So 7, we merge 7 columns, and inside this column we will display the message like food not added yet. Okay, so and here in column we can give the class as well. Class is equals to, let's say, error, and this will display the message in red color. So that's it. In previous section we need to in previous modules we used to break the PHP and add the row and column, like in manage category. If we go here, and here we broke the PHP and just write the single HTML code between the PHP end and PHP open. But this time I have not broken the PHP, but instead I have just written the HTML code inside PHP. Okay, so this is how you can write HTML code inside PHP as well. So if you have any confusion, then please let me know in the comment. I would be more than happy to explain you. Okay, so now let's get the food from database and display all the food. Okay, so get the foods from database and display. For that we will use while loop, and we will create $row is equals to mysqli underscore fetch underscore assoc. So this will get all the data in array format, and this while loop will continue as long as we have data in our database. Okay, so and here we need to pass $race value, and here let's get the value from individual columns. Okay, so first we'll get is $id is equals to $row, and then column name is id, and then we need is title. So we have title, price, image. So based on these things we need to get the value. We do not need everything, like we do not need description and we do not need category, but we will need title, price, image name, featured, active, and we do not need actions. So we do not need to get value for action. For actions we will create other things. So what we need: title, price, image name, featured, and active. Okay, so let's get title. Title is equals to $row, and then title, tl title, and then here we need $price is equals to $row, and then price, and then we need $image underscore name is equals to $row, and then image underscore name, and then we'll get $feature feature is equals to $row featured, and then we'll get active. Active is equals to $row, and then active. That's it. Now we need to display all of this value in our row. Okay, so here now I'll break the PHP and then start the PHP, and between this PHP I will create a row and display all of this value. Okay, so for now I'll just copy this, or I'll cut this row from here. So I'll just cut this row, Ctrl and X, and let's paste it here. Between this PHP we'll paste it here, and what we need to do is we need to push it inside to indent properly, and I also need to push it inside so it indents properly, and then we will display all of the data. Okay, so first we need to display this title. So instead of Burger King, we will display title PHP echo $title, and then I will just copy this PHP part. I will remove this. I'll just let $be here and paste it here. So we have dollar and then PHP open and echo. This will be $price, and then instead of image, I will just bring it down, press enter and bring it down. I'll open PHP and echo $image name. For now I'll just print the image name, but in a moment I will check whether this image name is empty or not, and if the image name is not empty, then we will display the image, and if the image name is empty, then we will display the message. Okay, so here we need to echo, this one is featured, so echo $featured. I think this is featured, right? So first one is featured and second one is active. So this is featured and this is active. So PHP echo $active. So that's it. And here for this serial number, what we used to do is we used to create number variable and set default value as 1. So $sn is equals to 1, and it needs to be outside of the loop, and inside of the loop what we'll do is we just open PHP and then echo $sn plus plus. Okay, so that's it. And guys, I have another question for you. So why don't we use id instead of sn? Do you know the reason behind using sn, creating sn and using sn plus plus instead of $id? Please let me know in the comment, and if you don't know, then also let me know in the comment. I will explain you, but if you remember, then add the comment below. Okay, so let's continue. So let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's go back to our browser. Let's refresh it. Now you can see the title, price, image name, featured and active value. Now let's display the image when we have image name and display the message when we do not have image name. Okay, so let's go back, and here in image section I will remove this echo, and I will bring this ending PHP tag below here, and here we'll check whether we have image or not. So if $image name is equals to blank, or if image name is empty, that means we do not have image, display error message. So we will echo, and then here we will create div with error class div, and then class will be error, and message will be image not added. That's it. And if we have image in else condition, that means when image name is not blank, then we have image, we need to display image. Okay, for that I will break the PHP and then open the PHP. Okay, so and between this I will add image tag, and I will give src for source path. We do not need alt, so src, and here I will open PHP, close PHP, and echo site URL, and then we need to go inside images/food folder, and inside this food folder we need to give image name, which is the image name from our database. Okay, so here we have our image name, so we need to give this name. So here we need to echo $image name. Okay, so that's it. Let's save it and let's go back to the browser and refresh it. So here we have our image, but this is very big, so let's resize its size. So here at the end of the angle bracket I will give width is equals to, I will give 100 pixel. Save it, go back to browser and refresh it. Now our image is small and nice, and when we do not have image we get our message as well. So that's it. Now let's update the button. This is not update admin, this is update food and delete food. So here I will call it as update food and delete food. That's it. Save it. Let's go back to browser, let's refresh it. Update food, delete food. So that's it guys, we have successfully added the functionality to add the food as well as upload image for the food in our database, and we have also displayed the food that has been added in database in this manage food section. And in the next episode we will add functionality to update food as well as delete food. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you have any confusion or if you have any error, then please let me know in the comment below. I will reply you as soon as possible. So I'll see you on new episode. Till then, stay safe, take care, see you soon, bye bye.